Imagine this. In the middle of the desert, a tiny group of about 72 people stands with their families against a whole army of thousands. They are led by the grandson of a prophet. They've been blocked from getting water, their children are crying from thirst, and they have a simple choice: give in to a corrupt ruler or be wiped out. Their decision, and their final stand, would not only become a famous story about sticking to your beliefs, but it would also create a deep split in the Muslim world that we still see today. This is the story of the Battle of Karbala. So, how did things get this bad? To understand, we have to go back to the years right after the death of the Prophet Muhammad in 632 CE. There was a big question about who should lead the Muslim community. One group said the community should decide together. This would eventually become the Sunni tradition. Another group believed that leadership was a special right for the Prophet's family. Through his cousin and son-in-law Ali, they became known as the Shi'at Ali, or the Party of Ali, the Shia. For years, this was a quiet political and religious disagreement, but it exploded with the rise of the Umayyad family. When the ruler Muawiyah died in 680 CE, he did something controversial. He named his own son Yazid as the next leader. This was a big step toward making leadership something passed down from father to son, and many people saw Yazid as a cruel and unfair ruler. Yazid demanded that all leaders promise their loyalty to him, but one man refused: Husayn ibn Ali, the grandson of the Prophet Muhammad. For Husayn, promising loyalty to Yazid felt like saying his terrible rule was okay, and it went against everything his grandfather taught about justice. He felt it was a stand he had to take, no matter the cost. Husayn started getting letters from people in Kufa, a city in modern-day Iraq. They promised to support him and begged him to come lead a rebellion against Yazid. Believing this was a chance to bring back fairness, Husayn left Mecca with his family, including women and children, and his small group of loyal friends. The journey started with hope, a belief that people would join him against the unfair ruler. But that hope was about to be met with a harsh betrayal. Yazid's governor in Iraq acted fast, crushing the planned rebellion in Kufa before it could even start. The huge support Husayn was promised had disappeared. As his small group got close to the city, they were stopped. An army of thousands sent by Yazid blocked Husayn's way, forcing him and his followers into the dry, empty land of Karbala. The trap was now set. On the second day of the month of Muharram, Husayn's small camp was surrounded. What happened next wasn't a quick battle, but a slow, cruel trap. The army, led by Umar ibn Sa'id, blocked Husayn's group from their only water in the desert, the Euphrates River. For days, Husayn's followers, including his own children, suffered from terrible thirst. Talks about a peaceful solution failed. The army's offer was simple: give up and promise loyalty to Yazid or die. Husayn refused. He gathered his friends and told them they were free to leave secretly in the night, that the army only wanted him, but not one person left his side. They chose to stay and face certain death rather than give up on what they believed in. It was then Husayn famously said, "I see death only as a path to glory, and living with tyrants as nothing but suffering." The final fight happened on the 10th of Muharram, a day that would forever be known as Ashura. The battle was completely one-sided. One by one, Husayn's friends and male family members went out to fight. They showed amazing courage before they were all killed. Even though they were badly outnumbered, they fought bravely. Finally, Husayn himself went to fight. Wounded and tired, he fought until he was also killed. According to most stories, his body was disrespected after his death. The battle was over. The women and children who survived were taken as prisoners and marched all the way to Damascus, the capital of Yazid's empire. On the battlefield, Yazid's army clearly won. But in terms of right and wrong, it was a disaster for them. The brutal killing of the Prophet's own grandson and his family sent shockwaves across the Muslim world. It turned Husayn from a political leader into a timeless symbol of sacrificing for the fight against evil rulers. The tragedy at Karbala didn't create the Sunni-Shia split that started with the first arguments over leadership, but it made that split permanent and deep. It turned a political disagreement into a deep emotional wound that is still felt today. For Shia Muslims, Karbala became the most important tragic event in their history, shaping their identity around the ideas of justice and sacrifice that Husayn represents. For Sunnis, the event is also seen as a deep tragedy, and Husayn is respected as a hero who died for his beliefs. The way the event is remembered can be different. Shia Muslims remember Ashura with passionate mourning, while many Sunni Muslims who also see the day as tragic might observe it with fasting and prayer. The story of Karbala is more than just an old story from over 1,300 years ago. It's a lesson for all time about the struggle between power and principles, right and wrong. It's a story that has inspired many people around the world to fight for freedom. The legacy of Husayn's stand makes all of us ask a question. What are we willing to give up for what we believe is right? What do you think is the most important lesson from this story? Let us know in the comments below. And if you learned something new, please like, share, and subscribe for more stories that shape our world.